Hey, my name is H.E.R. I got a new pack out. It's called Reel to Reel Vintage Lo-Fi. I think for me, the sound design aspect of making samples is very important. I just love experimenting with instruments, with recording techniques, and hearing the results of different combinations. So another thing I really like about making samples is also like creating melodies and finding harmonies. But I really think that the sound design aspect is really what keeps me occupied during the day. It's really what I can spend the most time on. I started with drums when I was 6 years old, and then I took lessons, and then I started playing the piano on my own and really started experimenting with different instruments. And I come from a really musical family, and instruments have always been around. Then when I was 17 years old, or 18 years old maybe, I went to study music in Lausanne, in the French part of Switzerland, and I studied vibraphone for 3 years and then 2 years of composition and arrangement in mostly jazz, but also popular music. I think what a lot of people look for at the moment is a vintage sound which carries some kind of warmth in it. It is also some kind of nostalgia. I think nostalgia is something very comforting for a lot of people. People like to hear something that they know existed in the past. It reminds them of like the good times maybe. I think that the records of the 50s, 60s and 70s are so diverse in their sound that there's a lot of stuff to learn from these records. There's a lot of kinds of different reverbs, from room to play to springs to digital reverbs a bit later on. And then the musicianship is so prominent in this music. So when you listen to a 60s, 70s record, the musician, the person who performs the instrument, is very much in the center of what you hear. This is a bit different today. A lot of computer music, I love computer music. I think that the performer is less in the center of today's music. I think that people will hear a lot of musicianship in my pack. There's like everything is performed. Nothing is programmed. I've played a lot of the stuff myself. In this pack you can hear flutes, Wurlitzer, piano, guitar, bass, vibraphone. I have some vocal chops in there that were recorded by a good friend of mine. There's one more instrument that's very special to me. My mother bought it on the flea market for me. And it's a very old Glockenspiel that like every note is out of tune. So there's not really a key. You can't really play a melody on it. But if you record every single note, you can then tune every single note. So it is actually not usable as the instrument as how it is. But if you build a sampler instrument from it, it's perfect. It's very honoring to be on the radar of big producers like Timbaland and Illmind and Elite and Angel Lopez. It makes me really happy to know that they really like my music. They don't work with me because of my credits or anything, because I don't really have like big records. So it's really about the music. So that is super. I really appreciate that. But also I try not to get too high on it, because in the end, if something like this prevents you from working, it's not really good. So I try to take it in, appreciate it, and then move on, you know. So I have 3 more musicians that are performing on the pack. That's one person is a good friend of mine. He's called Flute. He's a drummer from Switzerland. He's very much into R&B and neo soul music. And for this pack, we recorded with a very, very simple drum set, just kick, snare, hi-hat, 1 mic and the tape machine. And we processed it with real spring reverbs, with real room reverbs, actually outside the studio. It's like a Swiss bunker, so underground cellar situation. And I set up a mic, 2 mics and 1 speaker out there. So we ran the drums through this speaker to capture the real reverb. Then I have a good friend of mine, Emilia Anastasia. She's a singer from Switzerland. She's super talented neo soul pop singer. I recorded some one-shots with her. And then I have a very old friend of mine that I've known for a very long time. He's called Dennis Scherer. He's played some of the electric guitar stuff on the pack. In this pack, every single sound is recorded with a real instrument. And every instrument I use has some kind of story behind it. It's either a guitar I got from my father, a Glockenspiel that my mother bought on the flea market, a vibraphone that I've owned for 15 years, a flute that I got from India. It's like every instrument is very unique, so every sound on there is unique too. You won't find these sounds in any Contact libraries or Omnisphere or anything. These are really unique. I think that the whole sample pack industry has changed a lot in the last years, and I think it will continue changing as fast actually. Right now for me, making samples is something I really truly enjoy, and that's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it because there's money behind it or anything, because I could be doing something else that maybe would even make more money. This is really something I like to do. I try to find the stuff that I enjoy spending my time most with. So making samples, that's what I enjoy most right now. Maybe in 2 years it will be shooting videos, I don't know, and then I'll move on, I don't know. I think lo-fi hip-hop music has something very comforting. It's chill. It's something you can listen to if you want to connect with yourself, connect with your surrounding. It's something that brings you back to yourself, I think. I myself listen to music only when I want to experience a kind of feeling, you know. I don't listen to music just to listen to music. For me, it's like either I want to be hyped, then I will listen to something that will get me hyped, or I listen to something that is chill and that relaxes me. Yeah, I think the lo-fi hip-hop genre is very big because it has something very comforting.